I have finished the second part of Raiden Shogun's story quests, and I am overall pretty damn happy with it. I could probably say a few nitpicky things about the transitions, about some of the general stuff, but these are all just things that happen with, Genshin Impact storytelling, because it happens on like on a almost weekly basis, right? There's a new patch every single month, so there's a limit to how polished they can get these things within the time limit that they are granted, and you just have to get this content out. But as for the actual story itself, the actual content, like the actual story tidbits that we get, I think this is pretty much the best that the this is the best, in my opinion, the best Inazuma storytelling that we have gotten since since Inazuma. Like, in terms of actual characterization, I would put this at maybe number 2 compared to... I don't know which one I would pick first in terms of how much I actually related to the story. I would say maybe Kazuha first, and then number 2, the Raiden Shogun story quest part 2, and then Ito. Those three are like the only 3 story quests in particular that I really gelled with. So yeah, it is basically not even a story quest for the character. It's just the actual end of Inazuma's story arc. I treat this as the actual end, not the second part, the third part, or whatever, which part of the Archon quest that you may be thinking of. This is the actual end. So I can't really say anything more than that because, it's spoilery, and not many people have played the story quest yet, so I'll just leave you to experience for yourself. The boss was a tiny bit easy, in my opinion. I wish it was harder, because it was treated as this like super amazing, super difficult. I had imagined that it would be more difficult, essentially, and I'm sure it will be once I actually do the boss fight by myself with my 4 characters in the weekly boss event. But I haven't done that yet, and I'm just talking about the boss fight that we did in the story quest itself. From a graphical standpoint, it's pretty neat. I really like the new design, the ascended design of the Raiden Shogun. And I like the story, the lead up to it. I like the resolution. I think if they had put this at the end of the Archon quest, instead of just releasing it I think it was 2 patches after the end of 2.0, not 2, maybe like 3, 4. This is like the 3rd, right? The ending of the Archon quest came with, what was it? I think it was 2.2 or 2.1. So it's been 2 to 3 patches since the end of the Archon story quests. And it's only now, several months later, I think it's been 4, 5, 6 months now, that we get the actual end of the Archon story quests. So, good. I like it. I like the resolution. The only thing that has to be tied up, in my opinion, is some kind of ending for Kazuha, my boy Kazuha. He really got wrong, and I've talked about this way too much already, but Raiden Shogun really kind of did kill his best bud. So if he can just get some kind of resolution, then Inazuma's story arc to me is a 9 out of 9, 9 out of 10. If you just ignored the second chapter, the second act, and the third act, and you just skipped it, or if they could have condensed the second act and the third act into just one act and made this Archon quest its whole entire own act, then I think the Archon quest in general would have been treated far better than they really should have. And it's such a shame, because it's not even that the story writers at not at Inazuma, at MiHoYo or HoYoverse, whatever they call themselves now, they're not bad storytellers. They are very excellent storytellers. They're good writers. But I think what happened is that they had to separate all of this story that they wrote into discrete chunks to keep the player's attention, right? So they have to put a bit of it here, a bit of it over here, a bit of it over there, and then just stretch it out over 6, 7, 8 months. And that's what they had to do with this. Maybe they did scrap or rewrite the Inazuma story quests, the Inazuma Archon quest, and that's why the first, third, second, and third acts felt so disjointed. But if they had just treated this Raiden Shogun Archon quest as its own act, then this is an A+. I think this is actually the first time that we've gotten an actual resolution for a story quest, an Archon quest, inside a character story quest. I enjoyed this story quest more than the second part of John Lee's story quests. I thought John Lee's Age story quest, it was so drawn out. We had to like go to all these different places, and it was like what we were talking to a bunch of miners, and it took so much time. It just felt so meaningless and kind of boring, to be honest. I like that last fight itself, but I think the way the boss fight was presented in the second part of Raiden Shogun's story quest was so much better, because it wasn't just one boss fight. It was actually okay. I'm getting too much into story spoiler territory, but I think the presentation is just much better. It is what it is, right? We should have gotten this as the actual end of the Inazuma Archon quest, but there you go. 6 months later, we finally have a conclusion to Raiden Shogun or A's story arc, and hopefully in the future, the story quest, the Archon quest, I hope will be more cohesive, and they will tell actual story chunks within the a lot of span of time they are given, and not have to draw it out too much. I don't think this will happen because obviously they still have to like keep the player's attention, and this is the way they've chosen to do it. But hopefully things will change somewhat, and they'll take into consideration more of what the players want in terms of the storytelling aspect of the game, because you know that this isn't a hard game. It's not a competitive game. It's a single player game. So I think the story is a lot of the reason why people keep playing this game, right? At least for me it is, because you know I love collecting the characters, I love rolling, I love the I would even say I like the gambling, but it's really the story that keeps me playing this game. I'm not here to grind. I do grind like artifacts and grind leveling up materials every single day, but it's the characters, the story, and the stories that keep me around, right? So yeah, I love it. I haven't done Yae Miko's story quest yet. I'll do that maybe tomorrow, but I finished Raiden Shogun's second story quest. It's great, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Maybe I've just hyped it up way too much, but it's just that it gives a conclusion to the Inazuma story quests that it really needed. This is the actual end, and maybe we'll get an epilogue sometime in 2.6, or maybe that'll be Yae Miko's story quest. It is linked to Raiden Shogun's, so you can't actually do Yae Miko's story quest without doing the Raiden Shogun one first. So maybe that will be the actual epilogue. Anyways, I really enjoyed this story quest. I've said that like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times now. So see you guys. I will see you later. Maybe for Kokomi post for Kokomi. I'm not sure if I will post for Kokomi now, because you know, C2 Kokomi is it's absolute crap. That's the only way I can say it. So maybe I'll post for Raiden Shogun now that I actually like the character. She's still not my favorite character of all time. I still like John Lee more than her. Maybe if only because John Lee's a bit less problematic. I really don't like saying problematic. It could mean so many things, but he is just like a more likable character in general, I think. So it's not really that bad to say that. So yeah, maybe I'll put for Raiden Shogun. I do need like it does make sense. I do have Yae Miko now, so it does kind of make sense that I will get Raiden Shogun as well, since they have synergy together. So maybe that's what I'll do. Anyways, this is Benchmark Gamer. I don't know what name I use on this channel anymore. It's just Bench Gamer. See you guys later. Wait, it's not quitting. Fuck. Okay, this should stop now.